Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Mitza Creek Farm. I am Katie, and we have a diversified farm in northern Wisconsin where we have cattle, sheep, pastured poultry, so chicken and turkeys. Plus, we have a high tunnel greenhouse and pumpkin patch and Christmas trees. So we have a lot going on, and that makes life kind of difficult sometimes. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about 5 things that we can do that make life a little easier for when we can't be here on the farm. My first tip is to go through your entire farm, your entire homestead, and check and make sure that all your fences are working and everything is convenient. We have a tendency in emergencies or urgent situations to put a band-aid on a problem, and then we have a tendency to forget about it. The most important thing I am telling you is to make sure that everything runs smoothly and everything is fixed so that your farm sitters or whoever is watching your farm does not need to do a dance in order to get into your pasture or climb through and over and under things to get out to check animals, because that is going to be where issues arise. Make sure all your gates are working. Make sure all your gates open and shut easily and can secure both ways, open and shut, very well so that your animals are not escaping. We have been working all summer on getting fences for our pastures fixed because we had a really rough snow season. We had a lot of snow and it was super wet and super heavy. And so it caused a lot of damage to our fences. So we have been working all summer long on getting fences fixed, and our goal was to get the fences fixed before this trip. This is the new fence that we put up, and this will be wonderful to keep the cows contained, and over in that pen, the rams contained. Over here, that fence came down once the snow melted, once the ground melted, and that fence post there came down. We have now fixed it, and we need to put up the cross brace for that and get this gate mounted. That way it is back to working normal and it is super easy to open and close. Here inside the high tunnel, that means making sure that our sidewalls are opening and closing well, because this one was sticking for a little bit. It also means that I have the doors shut and secure for how they need to be. This door is going to stay open, this one is going to stay shut, that one is going to stay shut. So then it's super simple. If a storm comes in, everything can be shut up really well. It also means that those back windows are easy to open and close for cross ventilation. So we got to get all that done and ready and prepped so it's super simple before we go. My second tip is to atomize everything you possibly can. While we are gone, everything of ours will be on automatic waterers. That is so that the farm hands don't need to haul hoses, they don't need to drag irrigation piping, all of that kind of stuff everywhere on the property. And it is a lot easier to fix a problem if it arises with the float than trying to fill up a water trough for everybody and then having to fix a problem because something isn't working right. So for us, that means that our cow waterer, our main one for the area that they're going to be, is on a float and it is working well. I double check that. Our meat birds, you can see that we moved them into this area here, and that is just so that they have one more source of security in case somebody's not here at night. But they also have automatic water in there. Our ewes have automatic water, and our rams that we just moved into this pen also have automatic waters. So everybody has automatic waters. That is so that it is one less thing that could possibly get missed or won't get missed, And it is super easy for whoever is staying here to walk and look at, oh, they have water, oh, they have water, oh, they have water. Everything has water. You can also see that we put in a hay bale for the cows. That is also the same theory that I have, is that they have hay and they are going to be less likely to want to get out. They're going to be less likely looking for food. They're going to have happy bellies and they're going to be laying here lazily. And that is what we want when we have farm sitters come. So the hay bale is like an automatic feeder essentially. So these guys have hay to eat. The meat chickens have big feeders that hold, I think that they each hold like 10 pounds of feed. I'm not 100% positive how much, but there's 2 of those in there. That way they can, they only need to be filled once a day. At this age, it might be once every 2 days. Just makes life a little simpler. With that said, these guys are all on new pasture. So the rams are in here. So these guys really do not need to be fed. They just need to be checked on and make sure that they have water. And then the chickens need to have water checked and food added as they run out. Here in the flowers and pumpkin patches, automating everything means everything is on drip. And what isn't on drip gets a very, very deep water before we leave. That way, if it gets forgotten or missed, we're not going to come back to a dead crop. And so these pumpkins right here and a couple things in the high tunnel are the only things, and I should say my flower beds that are here along there, that flower bed and the ones down by the highway are the only things that are not on drip. And so if I'm going to give these guys a really, really, really deep water so that if they don't get watered at all while I'm gone, we're not supposed to have rain, I don't need to worry about coming back to a dead gourd crop. Everything is going to have a nice deep soaking so that these don't have to get watered while I'm gone. Next tip I have is to make everything convenient and simple for your farm sitters. So here in this area, this is where the goats and the steers are. And we moved the sheep over here, and you can see that we have the white netting up. So that way, there's no way that those sheep can escape that area. Just got the sheep moved in, and that is at as high as our tester goes, 8,000, and so they will be able to eat in there. The water is right there, it's on a float, so that makes it very easy and convenient. The farm sitters can just come over and look and make sure that the sheep are there and that the goats and the steers are here, and then we're good to go. And as I already showed you, the rams are in this pen. Part of the reason why they're in this pen is because A, they have lots to graze, and they have a shelter that is right there. So that is super easy. But then also when we're gone, it's super convenient because the cows are there and the rams are here. The steers and the sheep are up there. So then everything is all contained in one area, and we don't have to have people driving way out to the far back pastures to check and do head counts and everything. We also know that cows, no matter what, they love to graze. They're there. Cows love to graze. And even if they have hay, they want to graze. So we have this whole area behind the pumpkin patch and the high tunnel down around the bees and all the way over there. That is all fenced in, and we have been saving that for the cows, specifically for this trip, because then they have new area to graze. And it's been about a month, maybe a little longer, since they've been there, and so everybody will be happy to be in there. They're not in there yet because we want to save that for when we leave tomorrow. When you're watching this, we will be home, but We want it so that whoever is stopping by is able to pull in and do a quick head count and see everybody, and they don't have to go out in fields looking for animals. Hello, Bond. How are you, bud? What I do is I make sure all the fertilizer is ready to go and everybody is trained in on how to use the fertilizer for the mums and the drip system for everything. Now, like I said earlier, everything is pretty much automated, so it is just a little tiny bit every day and making sure that things are actually getting watered, but it still is like, got to make sure this happens because this is how we make our money. So that is kind of the big thing for the high tunnel, is making sure that the fertilizer is mixed up and ready to go for as long as we're going to be gone, and all of the notes and how long things are going to be run are written down so that it's easy to access. The other thing I need to do yet is I'm going to take some duct tape and label each of the hoses. That way they know for sure if there's an issue, what hose or what line runs where. My final tip that I have is something that is minor, but for people who are busy and they're taking time out of their day to multiple times to do things that you normally do, I don't make anybody pick produce while we're gone. Owen and Lily will be here, but I know that they're both working and I know that they're both going to be busy doing other things. So I'm going to pick everything that I can before we go. And then when they're down here, if they want to, they can pick, but they don't have to. And things will not, too much won't go to waste without them picking. My parents are also going to be down here, but like I said, I don't expect them to pick. They want to pick, they can keep the vegetables, but I am not expecting that. And then it takes a little bit of weight off of everybody's shoulders, and if it gets forgotten, nobody feels bad. So I'm going to go through. I'm going to pick all the tomatoes that are ripe, and then I have a few cucumbers and some zucchini as well. So that is what we have to do in order to get everything ready for leaving the farm. Now it's just Beck and I that are going to be gone for 5 days. Lily and Owen are going to be here, but like I said, they both work. But my parents are coming to help out and to make sure everything is getting watered and everything is doing good. But that is it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you guys next time.